And welcome to our meditation today. Actually, we're going to have a dialogue today. And this is a very important topic. It's at the core of everything related to the divine plan, changing the vibration for the planet, and very in alignment with the specific work that I do, bringing this initiative of SOAR, Voice of Truth Initiative, out into the world as the Queen's Caravan to give women their voice of truth. So we're going to introduce Faye Shepard here in just a few minutes, an amazing woman in Florida with lots of intelligence and spiritual expansion. But I've been thinking a lot about this truth-telling because most of us have been fudging it. Even people fully in integrity to get along, to keep the job, to not be abused, whatever it is, the minute you are born into this world, we must develop at least avoidance patterns, because no parents are perfect because they were born into this fear-based world. So this morning on Facebook, I wrote this. They keep putting this hat up, this blue hat, which is political sensation, but I'm not going there. This could take just a little moment here. Aha, make lying wrong again. There it is. Blue, not red. Okay. My grandson was promised one stick of gum. An hour later, he is standing in front of and speaking to the adult sitting on the couch, and he has a fresh minty breath. And you know, I'm a nurse. I'm always smelling everything. That's not an old gum. I said, did you take another piece of gum? His big brown eyes scanned everybody's face as he began to shake his head no, and then he reversed it into a yes. Because why? Because this was classic, because he's intuitive and he could feel us reflecting the truth back. And it was enough to shift his answer. So we hugged him for speaking the truth. And then that helped him to see the way to go. It's okay to try it out, but he's only 6. He's developing his character, what works and what doesn't work. So the question is, are we reflecting back to the world, leaders, peoples, and our partners, truth, so they can't get away with lying? I'm talking about self-responsibility. The change starts with us. If I hadn't noticed and called it out, I imagine my grandson would have tested other areas, take an extra cookie, go a little further. And this is how characters are formed. My grandson is a bright natural leader, and he is responsive to direction. He's malleable. He is learning right from wrong, and that is the homework for a 6-year-old. But on a larger scale, what if the people on the couch, what if that speaker was our landlord? House over our head. What if it's our boss? Food on the table. What if it's our priest, in or out of that community? What if it's an abusive person and you can't say anything because you might get hurt? So the consequences are always there when we decide whether or not to tell the truth. So sometimes we might let it go. What if nobody reflects the truth back anymore? They're tired, confused, trying to make a living to a system that they are actually beholden to, and feel progressively disempowered. So when I was young, well, let me just say this. Intuitive people, we know when someone's lying, and everyone on this call or listening to it is part of a team to bring the truth back through their voice. Intuitive people know when someone is lying. If they say the meek shall inherit the earth, the kind intuitive ones, would we just keep it zipped? So when I was little, I would look at someone and say to myself, why are they thinking one thing, which isn't nice, and saying something else? When I was little, I could discern, and I stopped trusting adults, even in my own home, would later backtrack and cover up with excuses what they'd said. So that's why I created the Sounding Our Authentic Resonant Voice of Truth initiative. A lot of words, but it means just release the fear so you can tell the truth. And there's a way to do it. There is a way to do it, safe ways to do it. And Faye and I are going to have a conversation about that to support you in these more difficult conversations. So it's fair and you can be in integrity and get what you need and not let someone use you. Narcissism and the betrayal, manipulation is rampant in our capitalistic system. So, do only non-intuitive people accept lying? Good question. Or maybe the fear the person holds matches the message of a Hitler, a Stalin, other folks, and that overrides their ability to discern truth. And they are fodder for manipulation. So the main work that I do is with sweet people who have been run over by trying to be in integrity and trying to hold the truth and do the right thing. And other people have noticed that and take advantage of that. So being part of this fear-based system can feel very numbing for a sensitive, truth-driven person. So we've all been playing the game. Not one of us is innocent because we've all been programmed to tell little white lies, avoid the truth, withhold truth. And I'm not saying you have to blurt everything out all the time. There's appropriate times and appropriate ways. But we have all created this together. And I feel that we're at a point right now, and I wrote in the Facebook, there's that song, it's gone about as far as it can go. Yes, sir, it's gone about as far as it can go. We can't go down the rabbit hole any further for sliming each other. So, no matter the policies, politics, or faces, I didn't ask for political commentary, though I know some people why they put that hat related to one person. It is a good slogan generically, because as a species, we have pretty much lost it. Both political parties, most TV channels, and most humans to some extent. What if we all decided to put this hat on? It's got a signature, sigil, energy, meaning, I stand for this, and we really meant it. Why are we always waiting for someone else to say, hey, the emperor has no clothes on? Does it have to be a child who has nothing to lose? Probably. Maybe a better saying is, how about lying stops here? I like that better because even the word wrong is charged because we are so out of touch. Political systems with twisted ideology and behaviors. We don't even know what wrong is anymore. So we are in a major tsunami, a bath of evolutionary change. A choice is at hand. A system built on truth that can grow and thrive. A system based on fear and lies, moving towards complete control fascism, which AI has put us completely vulnerable to. Some say there are two bubbles of reality moving forward, and everyone has already chosen which bus to get on. This is the duality. And why am I saying all this? Because it's very simple. In any moment, we can shift and choose love. In any moment, we can shift and fall into fear. When there is fear, truth is not safe. Where there is love, fear has no power. So now I'm going to turn off my phone in case I get a little Macy's text or something else. And I'm going to unpin myself and I'm going to be on speaker view. And I'm going to have Faye Shepard introduce herself.
Thank you. Thank you, Jan. Sorry. Faye Shepard here. I live in Florida. I'll be 80 years old this month. And my life has been a journey of discovering truth with a lot of knowing along the way. More details to follow.
I'm so glad you're here, and Faye is a guest on the Be the Light meditation program off and on. And I noticed you brought in a beautiful rainbow on your wall for us today.
This is my garden, my inside garden. I have a number of peace lilies and spider plants and pathos and English ivy and dragon's tongue, I think it's called. So anyway, that's my garden. And the plant light casts that kind of a rainbowy shadow.
Very sweet. And you know, nature doesn't lie. Plants don't lie. And they share the space. They take just what they need, not more. So Faye, what this topic that I brought up today, I think you have some wonderful ideas on how to manage our lives in the world by choosing when to share truth, how to share truth. So tell me some of your wonderful insights.
Well, to begin with, I think we need to be centered and grounded and balanced and in harmony with ourselves. And we have a pause button. You might say it's at the breastbone. And if you push the breastbone pause button and just breathe, you can feel your heart energy flow throughout your body and get centered and get in alignment with yourself so that you can become aware of what is true for you. And then when you deal with other people, you can always say, this is my truth. Because where I stand, I don't need you to believe as I believe because I'm not sure that I believe. I'm insecure in my own beliefs. I am secure. I am grounded. I am centered. I am in my essence mode. And so I can share what I know, what I feel, what I believe without any expectation of affirmation, denial. It's okay. You don't have to believe what I believe, but I'm willing to share my perceptions with you.
Beautifully said. But so many intuitives who maybe even just as an adult, sometimes in their childhood, but they shut it down, start receiving these truths and they say the truths and they don't match the reality of your partner, of your boss, of the church. And so intuitives are marginalized. They are put down as crazy or woo-woo. So part of it, I think, is being around other people who are also intuiting truths, and you can have more free, honest conversations. And so this is leading up to the question that I want to ask you. Do you think that we are headed towards a two-bubble social system that may even split apart. Is that the divine plan?
I don't know the divine plan. My reality is that I will continue to expand my experience of love and harmony and peace. And I'm not sure how that will play out, but having connections now, fortunately by Zoom, I have a group of people across the country who are of like mind. And so it's okay. We get together and we say, I had this woo-woo experience, and everybody says, yeah, I agree. This I even relate to that. And if I tell them about the conversation I have with my plants, they are fine with that. They don't say, oh, you're weird. So there are two things we can do. We can ask for, I ask and intend to have a community of like-minded people I can share my experiences with. The AA thing, sharing your experience, strength, and hope, is a wonderful spiritual experience. And so we can create, draw to us, know that we can have it, know that we deserve it, and know that it will happen. And we can bring that community together, which expands the light. And the others we have to deal with everyday life. So we acknowledge that we live in a slightly different world, and we can edit what we have to say, to use our intuition to understand what that person can hear, and maybe ask our guides, our teachers, our source for clues. What can I say to this person that person can hear? Not so that I'm a wonderful teacher or a grand woo-woo wise woman, but just, the little next step. So that's what I have to say on that, Jan.
And that is so perfectly said, and we're so in alignment because the Queen's Caravan Spiritual Walkabout Tour is to help find like-minded people and pull them together in their community, get them empowered. Because when you're isolated, you said it so perfectly, you created a community and you grow and you laugh and you feel at home. And I think the intuitives are feeling increasingly not at home, not seen, not safe. So, and actually, when I really heard the bigger picture of what you're saying, we're gravitating towards resonant, like-minded tribes. That is another way of looking at it. I met this fellow who died, the biggest documented. He died for 2 hours. Stanford tested him 2 hours, and he came back, and I said, well, what is it? What's the future? He said, what you choose is what you experience, and you will create like a pool, a rippling out pool, and one will learn something, just as you said, Faye, and you expand and learn from that. And that is how the species will continue in evolution, based on their thoughts. Fear, collaboration, love, that will be the signposts and guide people. So I have a question for you. We are in this milieu. We need resources. And in some level, there's a lot of light workers who are out there not quite sure how to do their mission in a world where a job that sucks them in puts them in a lower vibration realm. And sometimes that is their duty as well, to shine the light there. But is there any room for a light worker in integrity being in an environment where fear is the way it works, manipulation, and they pretty much play the game? Or do they lose points in heaven if somehow they are, well, for the highest good, I will tell a white lie. Or actually, it is important for the greater good and justifies the mean. Or is that something? What's your thoughts on that? Because someone mentioned that to me the other day. When with humans, play their game.
I understand completely. I would say that of the choices you made, you left out some alternatives. Again, when it's impossible to say the blunt truth, then you hold your tongue. And rather than tell a lie or say something that's totally wrong, I would just say nothing.
How about if the people are manipulating the intuitive? And is it I have many women who are in partnerships where the partner doesn't get them, manipulates them, it's fear-based, and not everybody can just fly off. So
Right.
how
I
do you lose your integrity if you stay?
Well, I think people, even intuitives, are in a learning mode. And so what is going on around them is representative of things that they need to learn. So rather than focusing on how to deal with this apparently external stimulus of manipulation or whatever, again, going back to the pause button, remaining centered, asking for guidance. You've got the intuitive abilities. Ask for guidance. What am I to learn here? And once we've learned the things that we need to learn, the situation changes
You said
drastically.
so beautiful, beautifully. I mean, this is why we do the Be the Light every week. Get inside, see how your machinery works, clear it off, be a perfect facetry of truth, light, and love. And people pull in those relationships or situations to help them discern and grow.
I have a little story. I'll try to make it short. My astrological chart has a lot in it. I had decided that this lifetime I was going to clear up a lot of unfinished business. And a young man who was somewhat experienced in reading charts, but not in talking to people about their charts, kind of turned white, pale when he read my chart. And he kind of gasped and he said, I'd never seen such a horribly aspected chart. Oh my, this is terrible. There's absolutely no way out of it except divine intervention. And I don't think he really believed in divine intervention, but I did. So I was gently amused and not alarmed. And because I knew that I would get through it all. I was at one time on oxygen 24/7 with an 82% lung function, COPD. And as you know, you don't get over that, but I did. So how? Getting in touch. What were the things that I needed to learn? I did a lot of past life work. There was a lot of grief, a lot of unresolved grief. I did many years of work. I did regular present time therapy with regular present time therapists. And after a lot of this work I was in a meditative state, and I saw a gray, dusty honeycomb. And I thought, that doesn't look right. That needs to be cleared away. And I did. And the next time I had my lung function tested so that I could get my oxygen renewed and everything, I failed. Actually, I passed with a 98% lung function. The doctor kind of just ignored the whole thing because he didn't know what to make of it.
Deal with it.
So when we learn the lesson, instead of focusing on what's being done to us, he's picking on me, he's manipulating me, she's bad-mouthing me. We have to go inside and find the lesson that they are working really hard to teach us. And the more annoying and the more aggravating and the more they're trying to teach. So pay attention. Go inside, find out what's going on, and then work to resolve it.
Perfectly said again. I love having you as a guest here on the show. You're fabulous. And I've also, I often give people the figure 8 idea. As low as you go, that's how high you go. And those that have been given lots to work with, as they use that emery board of their tools and healing, and it's such a tremendous luminosity and awareness that comes when the work is done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm going to move into a actual meditation now, and I'm going to pin myself, and you can relax. As Faye Shepard in Florida, our intelligent guest speaker, delightful, with some wisdom, personal wisdom, and beautiful spiritual insights. So the bottom line is, it all is here. It's interior, and we're projecting it out as a movie. So if you don't like what you see, change the projector. Okay? Change what you are projecting out into the world. Change yourself. Let's take a deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. So we're digesting all this wisdom. Thank you again, Faye. As we ask and intend to set a sacred space, we separate our energy field from the entire universe and all that is. And we are reflecting upon some of the issues that we have brought in to heal, and we acknowledge that some of them we have carried, not as a painful sacrifice, but as something that maybe not so painful, but we are messengers who brought in not just our own stuff to work with, but we also are working with planetary archetypes, liars, those that allow lying, mean mothers who lie, mean husbands, mean partners, mean boss. We are doing the dance, the theater, the grand theater of refurbishing life to truth. So we're playing some of the last biggest games. And of course, that goes the deepest and is the most shaking up for us, because the minute those little boulders are gone, whoo, we're free. We just can reflect and be light and love, because everything that is fear-based is released. So what we're experiencing, as Faye said, is reflecting back how much more releasing to do. And know again that you may have taken on a very big planetary archetype, the masculine and feminine angst, the mother and child angst. So know that we're going to be successful. You're going to be successful as a team, and that it actually is all really worth it. Stay with it. Do the meditations. Take a deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. And I know you've been thinking about ways that you have been lied to, or still playing the game yourself. And forgive yourself. We ask and intend to forgive ourselves for doing what we felt was appropriate at the time. We release our own guilt for wearing that mask, that costume in the great theater, the drama of life. In this moment, we are releasing everyone else from being bad or wrong. We are letting them go. We are releasing. They can take off their costumes and their masks. We are choosing to embrace our lessons, our purification and release of fear fully, deeply on all levels. We are responsible for this task, or we can keep suffering. Your choice. So as we take this deep breath, imagine that there are conundrums or vibrations still. They're a little awake now because we've been thinking about them, thinking about any ways that you've pushed love off, that you've let fear in. Are you ready to let go of the game? Just feel into the feelings, because believe me, there's been a lot more than you can remember. But I know you're feeling the energy of it. And sometimes things we can ask for help. We ask and intend for our spirit guides to surround us now. Feel their higher vibration. Feel their love. Feel their assistance in us graduating from the fear-based schooling. We've had enough. We're choosing only, and this is it, we are choosing only to focus on love in our heart. And then we don't have to do a million more healings, entity releases, blah, 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 soul retrievals. It's this simple. We are one thought away. If we hold that thought from complete grace, complete surrender, complete light. Only you can make that choice. You can't blame all those people wearing the masks running around trying to show you where you still hold that little fabric glimmer of, oh yeah, I can still fear about this. Only love exists. Fear is a crazy making illusion. Hear that truth. So now we have our divine beings around us. Now we're going to ask for even bigger help. We're going to ask for Source to realign us and hold us in complete harmony with the true nature of our divine being, which is love. Source, God, all that is, always listening. I don't have to yell. Okay. Is preparing a formula, because everything is vibration, it has mitigating formulas, is preparing a beautiful ball of light for each of us, because we have our own funny little systems, musical, pipe organ systems, everything's vibrational, everything's musical. We're asking for a new song, the song that is LOVE, only love. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth, and simultaneously this beautiful ball of light is coming down from the center of the universe and hovering over the top of your head. Just wait a moment. Feel the immensity of your ability to create this, allow it, and to say yes. To say yes. So let this ball of light over your head begin to melt down into your cranium, into all of that tissue with the sparking brain neurons. We are wiping away the story, the energy, the platform, any triggers for fear. out of your system permanently. Take a deep breath, just believe it and allow it. That's how we created the old reality. We ask and intend for this vibration of love melting down through our entire head behind our eyes. Is not just love, but has that little fear enzyme dissolving magic in it as well. So this is a complete upgrade, one-stop bath right now. Let this light beautifully flow through your neck, your shoulders, your chest, your legs. Can you feel the lightness of it? How light you feel, but still grounded, safe, still here in your physical body. Feel the weight of your sit bones, feel your skin, but feel the emanating, pure, elevating, levitating quality of light. Just let it go, let it rip through every cell, every part of you. So even physical somatic memory is now washed, healed, released. And the vibration of love is drenching, holding the field, spreading out, emanating, fulminating, propagating, absolutely gaining wattage. Beautiful. Your whole body is beginning to be the light. So let this light go beyond your skin and radiate out. This light will radiate out through your eyes, your voice, your touch, your presence. Your presence, so if you see Miss Truth, you just shine a little love on the situation. So let this energy go down, anchor into the earth, because you are here on earth. You're a human for now. Anchor in and bring some earth energy up for grounding through the bottom of your feet, your legs, your hips. Let this energy flow into your heart. So there is a grounding, balance, divinity, earth balance. I'm here now. I am in this body full of divine knowing, light, and truth. Let this energy come up through your neck and through your head and up out the top of your head and back up to source. Whoa. You are like a conduit for divine light. Flow in, flow back, flow in, flow back. You are part of the universal pulse of love that is the creative force. Fear stops it, love flows it. You are the flow of creative love on earth. You are a creator being flowing the juice of creation through you, through your breath, through your presence. Wow, this feels really great. So the meditation part is done. So come back and put a beautiful golden resilient egg. Oh my God, open your eyes. Look at the background I chose today. I can't believe it. This is the golden resilient egg right there. This is a little bit of Waldorf artwork by one of my children when they were in Waldorf school, and I loved it so much. I have a whole bunch of different backgrounds, and I chose this one today to be the light with. Do you see how it's a golden? That's just about how far it needs to be out from the body too. So nobody's words get in, they bounce off. You hear the news or somebody said, it bounces off. This bounces off because you are emanating this dominant field of light, which is love, and higher vibrations dominate lower vibrations. Good. Okay. So this brings to a close today's talk. I thank you again, Faye Shepard, and I'm Jan Jorgensen here at Sound and Light Healing Arts. I almost said Sound and Light Being Arts. That's good. Sound and Light Being Arts here in Olympia, Washington, and the website is soundandlighthealingarts.com. You can join me every Wednesday morning for free at 9 a.m. on Zoom. Thank you.